Martinez-Brown, and today's lab video is about the lymphatic and immune system, which protects the body against foreign material, especially pathogens, and which return the tissue fluid or lymph back into the blood for blood volume and blood pressure maintenance. Specifically, I will be talking about the thymus, the pharyngeal tonsils, and several areas relating to immunity. Let me begin by talking about the thymus. The thymus is an organ that is inferior to the thyroid glands. Its two lateral lobes uh, sit partly in the thoracic cage and partly in the neck area. For the fetus in the child, it is large enough to sit beneath the sternum, but starting at puberty, it gradually shrinks in size with age. Aside from producing the white blood cell T lymphocytes or T cells, it also produces other cells and thymic hormones that help the T cells recognize foreign antigens. This is called immunologic competence, where the immature T cells in the thymus learn the mechanism of self-recognition um, for the body's cells and the mechanism of self-tolerance for the body's cell proteins and other organic molecules, which results in the T cells accepting them or not reacting to them. The next topic I'm going to be talking about is the pharyngeal tonsils. Tonsils are the lymphatic nodules located within the mucosa of the pharynx. Pharyngeal tonsils are located in the posterior wall of the nasopharynx, which sits behind the soft palate. They form the superior aspect of the lymphatic tissue ring called Waldeyer's ring. They are part of the body's immune system that fight infection and foreign antigens by activating T and B cells and producing IgA antibodies. And the next topic I'll be talking about is immunity. It refers to the body's ability to protect itself by destroying pathogens and by preventing the occurrence of certain infectious diseases. It has two components that work together for damage and prevention of diseases. They are called innate immunity and adaptive immunity. Innate immunity is non-specific with regards to its target, and its responses are always the same. So the responses do not become more efficient with repeated exposure. They also do not use antibodies, nor do they create memory. It consists of anatomic and physiological barriers like the unbroken stratum corneum layer of the epidermis of the skin, and also of the defensive cells like phagocytes, and also of chemical defenses like inflammation. On the other hand, adaptive immunity is very specific to the target, and it may use antibodies, it may create memory, and its responses become more efficient with repeated exposure. It consists of cell-mediated immunity and antibody-mediated immunity. Cell-mediated or cellular immunity consists of macrophages and different T cells such as memory, regulatory, killer, and helper T cells, and it is effective against intracellular antigens, malignant cells, and foreign tissue grafts. On the other hand, antibody-mediated immunity or humoral immunity um, deals with antibodies and macrophages, different B cells, and helper T cells. Um, it, it is also involved with the antigen antibody complex formation where the antibody binds to the antigen to tag or label the antigen. It can result in either opsonization, where the antigens are tagged or labeled for phagocytosis, or for complement fixation, where the complement or plasma proteins either lyse cellular antigens or tag non-cellular antigens for phagocytosis. And the next topic I'm going to be talking about relating to immunity is the source of immunity, specifically with regards to acquired immunity. Um, for acquired immunity, it is either passive or active. Passive immunity means that the source of antibodies come from somewhere else, while active immunity means the production of one's own antibodies. An example of naturally acquired passive immunity is the transmission of IgG antibodies through the placenta from the mother to the fetus, while an artificially acquired passive immunity example is the injection of immunoglobulin after suspected exposure to a specific antigen. For the example of a naturally acquired active immunity, um, it is the production of one's own antibodies after recovery from a disease, while an example of artificially acquired active immunity is the production of one's own antibodies after vaccination. And now the last topic I'm going to be discussing is the effect of HIV on the immune system. HIV, or human immunodeficiency virus, causes the deadly disease called AIDS, or acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. It infects the helper T cells, macrophages, and other human cells in the body. Without healthy helper T cells, the immune system becomes seriously impaired, failing in its ability to prevent future infections. Specifically, the immune system doesn't recognize the pathogen as foreign. The B cells are not activated, and killer T cells are not produced. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you.